God's sake. 7 billion trillion apples. Where'd that even come from? Oh, what? What have I done? What the hell have I done now? Where is it? Where did I go wrong? Somewhere in here I've cocked it up. Painful making games, you know. And I'm talking about my game. My tiny, little, very simple game. Imagine, just think about how complicated games can get. Think about some of the games you've played in the past. God, I can't even imagine what it's like. Anyway, let's look at the progress we've made.
Can you remember me? I'm the one that picked the apple tree up.
Okay, quick recap. So last time we were able to go to the tree and talk to the rabbit, and he would provide us apples at a rate of 1 apple per second. So let's have a look at him now. Here we go. I've got 354 apples for you. So it's been a couple of minutes since I've last talked to him. Thank you. Okay, and I said the plan was that you could go to the forest and start rescuing his siblings, and they would help to increase the rate of apples. So let's see where we're up to. Here we go. First thing you'll notice, the music has changed. I've developed a new music track for the forest. Hope you like it. Thanks for getting rid of that nasty mushroom. We need your help at the apple tree. Anything for a pal. Off he goes. So now if we go back to the apple tree, here he is. I wasn't planning on having that sprite move so fast at first. I was having him move at about the same rate of the other ones, but I found that making it go faster was funnier, so I've just left it. I've got 629 apples for you. It looked like that just after a few seconds. So what it does now is that once you rescue, every time you rescue a rabbit, it multiplies the apple rate by 10 times. So very quickly you're going to get to 1 million. Very, very quickly actually. So if you just have the one rabbit by himself at a rate of 1 apple per second, like I say, I think that's about 12 days to get to 1 million if you count it in seconds. But if you multiply that rate by 10 every time, by the time you've rescued 4 of his siblings, you'll be able to get to 1 million in like a couple of minutes. I think that math checks out anyways. It's like there, we left it for a few seconds. Say 1, 2, 3. Ta-da, he's got 50 apples. Pretty good. Nice. So if we go and rescue another one of his siblings, we should bump us up to 100 apples a second. Let's go. Alright, yeah, you have to beat the mushroom guy again. There we go. And if all's well and good, the game should recognise the fact that that first rabbit's been rescued. Yep, great. So he doesn't pop up again. Thank God for that. Thank God that worked. Alright. So Forest Stage 2, a haunted well. I don't know why I thought that, but there you go. Get done, ghost. Look how sad he is when you hit him. There we go. My punches had no effect on that ghost, so I've had the idea of having each of the little rabbits maybe have its own personality. So just stick a bandana on this one, call him a fighter. Please help us to gather apples. In return, you must teach me ghost punch technique. No problem, little kid. You don't actually have to do that. And in fact, you can't do that. I haven't programmed it into the game. But that's pretty much as far as I've got so far. New music track, a couple of siblings that you can rescue, new background in the, the haunted well, another new background with the spider web here, and I'm planning to develop a spider type enemy to fight on this screen to replace that pumpkin, and then obviously I bring in the third sibling who you rescue, then I'll do another background, another monster, and the fourth sibling, and that should be enough to get you to 1 million really quickly. Maybe what I could do is develop more areas to stick in between, because if I do that, the Haunted Forest is basically 4 screens then, and you rescue a rabbit on each screen. I could put in some extra work. But well, I think I'll get the 4 rabbits in there first of all, and then see how I feel about adding more stuff in the future. I showed my game to my dad the other day. He seemed to like it. Do you know what he said to me? He said, "Are you going to colour it in?" I mean, it's a valid question, I suppose. I did toy with adding more colours. It just didn't seem right. But like, just the way he phrased it, "Are you going to colour it in?" That's his level of understanding of video games. And it's been like my number one hobby for about 30 years. Are you going to colour it in, he says. Anyway, that's my dad. Speaking of video games, this week, what I played. I played through Streets of Rage 4. I played it co-op with a friend of mine. Not much to say about this one, except that it looks gorgeous and it's really fun to play, especially in co-op. I've had some people complain online that they don't like the look of it, and I seriously can't understand. I can't get behind it. To me, there's nothing controversial about the way this game looks. It's gorgeous. I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? Famously, but whatever. I mean, I'd have to look real hard to find some kind of flaw in the way this game looks, apart from to say it doesn't look like the old games. I've even heard some people complain about the music. The music sounds great as far as I'm concerned, and if you really do want the old music, there's an option in the menu, you check it, and it just replaces the new soundtrack with music tracks from the old soundtracks. It's like, it's doing its best to make everyone happy. I thought it was a cracking game. Lots of neat little touches, like the invincibility frames on your special moves so that you can use them strategically. Like the fact that they drain a little bit of HP, but then you can get that back if you can land a few hits on an opponent before they hit you. I've played a few beat 'em ups on the Switch, like River City Girls and Mother Russia Bleeds. And I found that while I enjoy them in short bursts, it's hard to sit down and play them for a long time. Even when you're playing them with another person, you can quickly start to feel like you're slogging through them, especially if you've got like infinite continues or whatever. Something about the way Streets of Rage is, it doesn't get that way. I don't know why, for whatever reason. It's not a stodgy game, if that's a strange thing to say. It feels good to play it. It's about the highest praise you can give a game, that really, isn't it? And that's about it for another week. A lot of my time's taken up by doing that Let's Play for the benefit of I'm not sure who. I'll probably slow down in the next few days because Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition comes out on the Switch today, and I should have a copy of that pretty soon. Although I did manage, with all this, to find time to watch Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions this week. What a cracking show this is. Genuinely funny, and if you've got a heart in your chest, it will break it, I guarantee it. That's my anime recommendation this week. Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. If you're not aware, Chunibyo is a genuine phenomenon in Japan whereby kids can delude themselves into believing all sorts of fantastic nonsense, up to and including the belief that they have supernatural powers. Like I say, it's a cracking watch, 12 episodes. I'm not sure if it's on streaming or whatever, but check it out if you can. And there we have it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.